we're gonna wait for another few persons to come because we're gonna start with a little something else. Science fiction magazine lunch. It's just for a few minutes, not long, and then we go on music. Hello, Tudor.
Hello, Costel. Hello. Glad to see you all. I'm afraid I cannot add too much to the discussion tonight. Not because I don't like music. On the contrary, I do like, I love music. I agree with the idea that music is light. Light is music. But I just wait to listen to the music you offer, and if I can say something which will not be too old-fashioned, let's say, or not too personal, then I will join you. For the time being, I'm just going to listen to what you have to offer.
What do you mean you will join us? You have a guitar and...
No, I have no guitar. I have only 5 dogs. So that is why at the beginning I appeared as a German Shepherd. But then I said, okay, now for everybody participating today, I have to offer them my face and not my dogs who are around me. And especially the girls are going to listen to the music as well. I cannot promise the same thing for my 2 wolves because they prefer to stay outside and not to come inside.
They prefer woo!
Something like that. Usually I join them whenever they want to start. And then they say, oh, it's horrible, better stop. Hi there. I see that Lucian is joining. Adrian is here. Both Adi and Adi. And Alba Ecstasy. Alba Ecstasy has a mustache.
And a beard.
And a beard. Well, I cut mine, so I cannot join you in that respect. And we also have here Corina Chirilă, Irina Anna Drobot, Lauren, everybody. Hello, folks, again and again. Sorry, Michael. Michael, you are on the right corner, and I started on the left corner down. So, Costel, who's going to...
well, we're gonna wait for Cornel, Secu, so he will make a presentation of Helion Tiparit. Helion Tiparit.
In print.
And so that would be the first
Why
part.
don't you just start? We usually, especially we, let us say, more senior people. That is all. To use.
We will leave it that to Adrian, Chifu, for the first part, and then he will decide when. Good morning, Cornel, Secu.
Well, Cornel is here.
Morning.
So and he also has a mask. His English is not so good. No, from Laurent. Oh, Laurent English is not so good. I thought Cornel English is not so good. It doesn't really matter.
Well, they can speak French
it's not
together.
Michael Bruckner.
Definitely. French, German, anything. European.
Salut!
Pour la France, ça va.
We speak music.
Yeah. And music is.
Speaks for us.
We also wait for another guest, I believe. It's Andrea. Right?
Oh, Andrei Nedel is here.
No, Andrea. It's
Oh, you have an Andrea.
another musician, right?
Uh-huh.
Hello.
Come on, folks. Music.
But
We want music. We want music.
Adrian, Chifu. But we can start with the first part, right? Already.
Yes, yes. Okay. Now we will do a presentation of a magazine in Romanian language. It's called Helion. There is a club of writers, of artists here in Romania, Timișoara, and this magazine is one of the oldest magazines in Romania, science fiction and fantasy. And just these days, the number on December 5, 6 on December is Mr. Secu will do a presentation in Romanian language. No?
Yeah.
O să faceți prezentarea în limba română ca să nu...
Poți să vorbești în franceză sau dacă...
Da, poate neapărat să stați cu masca pe figură, pentru că nu se aude așa de clar.
Stau cu masca pe figură pentru că e Nedel la mine. E foarte periculos.
Da, nu știe nimeni, adică nu se aude. Dacă vezi, puteți
să păstrăm distanța, dar...
Să faceți prezentarea în engleză sau franceză. Acum, sau în românește, cum doriți, cum credeți.
Păi nu știu care sunt majoritatea.
Păi ar fi ideal în engleză, pentru că...
Nu pot, în engleză nu pot.
Nu pot.
Pot în română, atunci și își traduce cineva.
Păi da, eventual Costel, atunci traduci tu, te rog, ce spune Costel.
N-aș crede, nu cred că e indicat.
Să traducem.
Pentru că nu e așa de simplu, nu.
Da.
Nu, dar care e dominanta de nemți?
Și da.
Păi poate să traducă în germană, Andrei.
Păi da, dar sunt unii care nu cunosc limba germană.
Păi câți sunt? Păi asta am întrebat.
Păi e unul singur care...
Unul singur care știe germană și cu Nedel.
Da.
Și ceilalți sunt?
Germană, da. Dacă o știut Lorelai a lui Heine, știe și germană. Ich weiß nicht, cum e mai departe. Așa.
Revista în limba română. Revista în limba română se prezintă în limba română, scurt, și trecem la show de muzică.
Așa.
Să-l anunțe cineva pe Adrian Chifu să-mi dea co-host, că nu pot să dau drumul la nicio muzică dacă nu îmi dă dreptul.
Ești host, te-am pus host.
Ok, bine.
Domnul Secu, puteți să dați drumul la...
Da, câteva cuvinte, că în rest majoritatea au primit revista, iar cei care nu știu românește, degeaba. Deci numărul este în format clasic, cu rubricile pe care sunt cunoscute, laborator SF, un laborator SF destul de bogat, cu o prezență masivă a helioniștilor, Costel, Babos cu operațiunea Compas, o povestire citită în club, Ionus Vanea cu Piatra și roboții lui Dumnezeu, două povestiri scurte, iar Tudor Beșuan își continuă marșul triumfal cu demonii, având a patra secvență din roman. Andrei, Nedel, la fel, și-a mai stilizat puțin proza. Da. Și, de asemenea, Mihai Bariu, la laboratorul F2 avem 3 lucrări care au fost laureate la concursul Helion de anul acesta, cu premiul al 2-lea, premiul al 3-lea și o mențiune. Șerban Foarță cu rubrica lui fără diacritice, dacă apă ar fine. La Meridian SF avem o prezență germană, Arno Beren, care a prezentat povestirea Petropunk în club acum aproape o lună de zile, și Catlin Nakahu cu 5 schițe scrise special pentru revista Helion. La Radar este o luare a mea de atitudine față de editorarea lui Alexandru Lamba, semnată Spăială și Sfială, cu titlul Spăială. La Alternative avem 3 eseuri de Cristian Conț, Daniel Bodgos și George Ceaușu. La Omor SF am băgat 2 povestiri dintre cele distinse cu premiul 1 și al 2-lea la concursul de proză umoristică. Destul de făinuțe, ca să zic așa. Nu rup gura târgului, dar sunt bunișoare. La Pe scurt despre proza scurtă sunt analizate 2 povestiri, iar la Contrapunct o cronică de carte făcută de către mine la volumul de povestiri al lui Ionuț Manea, deci volum pe care l-ați avut în vizor săptămâna trecută, deci Confesiunile maestrului Păpușar. Are un volum bun, după cum știți, a întrunit sufragii pozitive destule. Iar la Zigzag avem diverse știri, dominante sunt cele de știință, dar și despre Revelionul SF, despre revista Utopica, despre Andrea Sterea, luată mai în răspăr puțin, și cu asta revista a ajuns la coperta a 3-a, care este ultima cu text, referitoare la Romconul, ediția 42, și la sesiunea Helion, ediția 35. Atât. Pe marginea ei, dacă aveți...
May I add something? Pot să spun 2 cuvinte. Odată că îl felicit pe Cornel. And now for the guests, our guests. As a matter of fact, it is our first occasion to combine elements in Romanian and in other languages.
Asta e revista.
System here. Yeah. Cornel is doing exactly what I was going to suggest. Just to show you the magazine, show you some titles in Romanian, but not in Romanian, only in English or French or German.
It's a very dynamic magazine. You can see that it's going from left to right, right?
Just hold to it. Ține-l drept, Cornel, în dreptul feței tale pentru o clipă. Așa. Atunci vedem mai bine.
It's looking great.
E foarte bine așa. E foarte bine. In other words, we have learned the lesson now. That is, if we have something to say in Romanian only, we will probably put it at the end of our session. And for the time being, I still think that music should be introduced immediately, if I may say so.
Yeah, sure. We were still waiting for another guest, but if it's not coming, then we can start. What do you think, Adrian, Bancu? Should we start?
Yes, we are ready.
Yeah, okay. So I will ask Michele Brückner to introduce himself to everybody, just a few words, and then we can go with his music.
And first, we tell happy birthday because this month in December they have anniversary.
Okay, happy birthday to you, Michele.
Okay, it's already it has been the 6th of December.
Yes.
So, but thank you very much. Okay, so I try a better look at the camera, I guess. Yes. My name is Michele Brückner, and I'm dabbling in electronic music since 1992. That's when I started. And I released quite a few albums since. And not all of them are Berlin School. I also take interest in other kinds of electronic music. But increasingly, I'm actually doing this Berlin School type of stuff. What I like about this meeting is that actually before I started to make music when I was about 22, I actually wrote science fiction stories and illustrated science fiction stories and horror and fantasy. And I started doing that when I was about 13 years old. And I had a couple of years during my teens and early 20s when I was a collaborator to German underground and fan magazines of science fiction. So it's very nice to be here now, invited as a musician, and see this connection to what I did before music. So that's a nice thing to see now. Okay, I see that we don't have so much time to talk about ourselves, and I'd like to cut a long story short and just suggest that we listen to some music now. I have cobbled together a small presentation with excerpts of 4 of my Berlin School tracks over the years. The one is rather old, from 1999, and the last one is rather new. Okay, and magically here the video appeared, but so I think just a question. This is inside of Zoom now, where we see the video. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. It is prepared.
But wouldn't it be better if people go to YouTube directly to have better sound? I just don't know.
When you are ready,
Yes?
we start the music.
I'm ready.
Okay, we start.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Și el nu e, deci...
Thank you, Michele Brückner, for this music universe. And now we probably need a few minutes to recover or to, for transition to real life, back to our meeting.
Yes, we are introducing in the universe of sounds. So, we can feel the universe without eyes, only with ears and our brains.
Yes, thanks for listening.
No, let me say something. I really loved the endless mind portal, as well as claustrophobia.
No, claustrophilia.
Phobia, sorry.
Yeah.
It's
It's an
phobia.
important. Yeah,
Sorry.
no problem.
Sorry, but you can see from what I say that it's not that I make willing mistakes or trying to get attention, but it is something that here I can honestly say, like or don't like. Whenever you listen to a text, science fiction or fantasy, the same way of expressing the first feeling for the text would be, I like it or I don't like it very much, but it's good. And then you try to say what is good in it. But here with the music, I really felt that it could be not combined, not added to a text, but representing ideas. And as I personally love the idea of portals, I enjoyed the way in which your music took me through a portal.
Thank you very much. There's an interesting thing about mentioning texts with that particular track, because I only played a short 3 minutes and the whole thing is about 30 minutes long. And in the first 10 minutes, actually, there's a recording of my daughter reading from a science fiction short story by J.G. Ballard.
Wonderful.
So there is actually text, there is a science fiction story incorporated in that composition.
Wonderful. That would be a more complex expression of music and idea.
Okay, Tudor, we talk about music and our impressions after all presentation. It's time to say a hello to Laurent Scheiber. Laurent is from France. He took in France. We translate in English.
OK.
Salut Laurent.
Bonsoir Adrian, bonsoir à tous.
Bonsoir à ton fils.
Bonsoir.
Valentin.
Valentin qui est à côté de moi. Sa maman va venir le rechercher dans une demi-heure. Voilà. Alors il est un petit peu avec moi encore. Et voilà. Alors, je remercie bien évidemment l'invitation pour cette émission. Et puis, je remercie aussi Michele pour avoir présenté sa version de la Berlin School, que j'apprécie beaucoup. Et je dois dire qu'on a eu le plaisir, Michele et moi, de jouer ensemble en concert en Allemagne, avec Tommy Betzler également. Et on a improvisé, et puis c'était très bien. Voilà. Alors, je me présente. Donc, j'ai commencé il n'y a pas très longtemps, en fait, il y a 5-6 ans maintenant, avec mon premier album qui s'appelle donc Blue Dream. Adrian, est-ce que tu veux peut-être traduire déjà?
Yes, Laurent, say hello to everybody. say thanks to invitation and we thanks for your participation too. And he prepared a video about his work from 50 years in electronic music, School of Berlin, and we'll start to play this video prepared for his anniversary because in December to have the birthday anniversary. And
happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
You.
And we are glad to see the both musicians in our first meeting in ElectroStation.
Happy birthday.
Well, we start the video now. And
Just a moment, Adrian. Please, everybody, turn your mic off during the music.
Play the video. Okay.
Okay.
No.
Bonjour à tous, je suis ravi de pouvoir partager avec vous ce moment d'échange et de musique à l'occasion de mon anniversaire. J'ai d'ailleurs une petite surprise pour vous en ce qui concerne l'extrait Voice 55, je vous en dirai plus d'ici quelques minutes. Durant cette vidéo, je vous parlerai de mon aventure musicale et de ma vision pour 2021. J'évoquerai mes rencontres, les moments forts et les performances scéniques. Voilà, je vous souhaite de passer un agréable moment. Tout a débuté en 2014 avec le titre Fly Over Me de l'album Blue Dream. Témoignages de soutien ont été une véritable impulsion. Durant ces années, j'ai la chance et le bonheur de pouvoir vivre mon rêve et de partager ma propre vision de la Berlin School. Je compte désormais à mon actif 8 albums physiques. Blue Dream, Amira, le double album Extended avec la première collaboration du batteur allemand Tommy Betzler, Ethereal, un album dédié au Moog modulaire, Renaissance avec un titre dédié à Valentin, mon fils autiste, Overseer, un projet de jeunesse qui a finalement vu le jour en 2019, Five, un album fêtant mes 5 années de présence sur la scène de la Berlin School, et tout récemment l'album Beyond the Star, sorti en septembre 2020. Pendant ces 6 années, j'ai eu le plaisir de rencontrer d'autres musiciens, d'échanger avec certains d'entre eux, de collaborer avec Kurt Meinfields, alias Jean-Luc Briançon, et de faire une partie de concert avec Michele Brückner. J'ai eu aussi le privilège de me produire sur scène, accompagné par Tommy Betzler à la batterie. Des concerts ont eu lieu en Allemagne, en Suisse et en France.
Pour moi, ça reste un partage d'émotions. C'est-à-dire que la Berlin School, pour moi, c'est vraiment le cœur qui parle, mon âme qui parle, avant tout le reste. Vraiment transmettre au public, c'est l'émotion, la sensibilité. C'est de la Berlin School en tant que telle, des nappes, des chœurs, des séquences.
Voilà, alors l'extrait que je vais vous présenter se nomme Voice 55. En fait, l'idée et l'envie me sont venues de mélanger l'atmosphère de mes débuts à celle d'aujourd'hui. Fly Over Me, qui est la première composition de mon aventure musicale, est divisée en 10 parties. C'est la partie ayant pour nom Voice, d'une durée initiale de 1 minute, que j'ai choisie comme base de travail pour ce nouveau projet. C'est donc tout naturellement que cet extrait a été baptisé Voice 55 à l'occasion de mes 55 ans. Un clin d'œil supplémentaire, la durée de cet extrait est de 11 minutes et 55 secondes. J'ai totalement retravaillé cette base tout en gardant l'âme de Blue Dream et en y associant mes nouvelles idées. Je suis vraiment heureux de vous présenter ce qui pour moi est l'atmosphère musicale la plus proche de ce que je souhaite atteindre. Voilà, je ne vous en dis pas plus, place à la musique et la surprise vous sera dévoilée à la fin de Voice 55. Voilà, j'espère que cet extrait vous aura plu. Voice 55 est disponible gratuitement sur ma page Bandcamp. C'est ma surprise pour vous. Je peux d'ores et déjà vous annoncer un scoop. Cet extrait prendra place dans mon prochain album en 2021 sous sa forme finale avec une durée d'environ 20 minutes. Et enfin, je tiens ici à remercier tous ceux qui ont cru en ma vision musicale. Pour n'en citer que quelques-uns, l'association Patchwork Music, Nicolas Picciotto pour son soutien en Suisse, Tommy Anke Betzler, mes proches et tout particulièrement mes 2 fils. Voilà, j'espère que ce moment de partage vous aura plu. Je vous souhaite le meilleur pour la suite. La musique, encore plus actuellement, reste pour moi un vecteur d'amour et d'espoir que je souhaite partager encore longtemps avec vous. Vive la musique, vive la Berlin School, bye bye.
Thank you for the film, Laurent. He made this film in English, but it is a version in Romanian too. It is available on our blog, spacers.ro. If you listen in the same film in with translation in Romania, for all our listeners of Spacers. We hope to make some live events after this pandemic, but in these days all is only in online, like these events. Thank you for Laurent. We make hello to the next invited, Alba Ecstasy is a Romanian composer, and it is with us.
Bună seara tuturor!
Hello.
Guten Abend, Michele. Bonsoir, Laurent. Laurent, probablement c'est votre meilleur album que je l'avais écouté. Excellent.
Merci,
Ouais,
c'est très gentil.
55, j'écoutais, et c'est magnifique. Félicitations, c'est très bon.
C'est très gentil, merci beaucoup.
So, my name is Adrian. I'm from Romania. I'm making music from 1996, and since then I composed about 140 albums. I'm also a sound designer. And I'm extremely passionate about Berlin School and space. Obviously, I'm making space music. I also wrote in my youth a couple of science fiction novels. I haven't been published yet, but who knows, maybe now is the time.
We are ready to publish in our magazine online.
Excellent, excellent. And I haven't prepared anything especially for this meeting because I had some family issues with my mother, so everything's fine now, but I'm sorry I hadn't the time to prepare something special, so I chose a recent, oh, not recent, it's from March, sorry, it's from March 2020. This year passed so fast that I'm still amazed that 1 year has passed. My mind is blowing. So, with no more other words, this is what I'm mainly doing for my YouTube channel, some studio live sessions, and I found it right now that I have this share screen, yes?
Yes.
And I will play this entire video. It's okay?
Okay.
Desktop 2. Sorry.
Looking for something?
Yes, how to share the video. Oh, I have to leave the meeting.
Have a button in middle down.
Yes, share screen, but
share screen. And don't forget to click on the share with the computer sound and
yes, probably I have to
two buttons in button.
Okay. It would be easier to give you the link.
Okay.
Okay, Adrian?
On the chat?
Yes, on the chat, because I have to change some computer settings, okay. And it's not working. Okay, I'm sharing here with everyone. And this is the video. It's the long way to Mars. This year, why I'm talking about Mars for my latest albums, because at the beginning of the year, I was invited by the ESA to write the music for the next mission to Mars. Unfortunately, the mission was delayed for about 2 years, and I missed the chance to be the next Vangelis composing music for ESA, and this is this is not good for my mental health. But it was a rough year for everyone, and this is the last thing that I can worry. This is a minor thing, but it was an opportunity for me. Let's see what happens in 2 years from now. So, Adrian, thank you for
take
sharing
the control to the mission to Mars.
Thank you. Operation.
Please mute the mic.
tot Beșuan, îi duc eu în disterent. Dar putea lua din Bancu să-i duce. Lua din Bancu și lui Chifu.
Thank you, Adrian, for playing my track.
Very beautiful sequencing.
Thank you very much. The entire suite of albums is not so much dynamic with drums. Even some tracks have drums, but as I spoke to a few of the staff that are at ESA, European Space Agency, for those who don't know, I tried to, in space there is no sound, and everything is calm but dangerous. So I had to imagine, because I haven't been yet there, to imagine myself in space, and which I'm doing a lot in my music. And this is it. It's more a music for introverts, to introvert yourself and calm down this entire mad world that we are living now.
It was a very nice journey through the space. Probably everybody here enjoyed it.
Thank you.
We want to thank you for a wonderful audition.
Thank you.
We go to the next invitation to Andrea Michele Vincenti from Italy. I don't know if he start joining with us because he say he have a bad connection to internet.
Of course, in the middle of Italy, there the connection it's an issue.
Not everybody lives in Romania where we have the best internet in the Europe. Strange, but it's true.
It's true.
We have a lot of IT specialists and
companies, yes, based here.
On the high standard. Well, I try to present Andrea Michele Vincenti. Costel, you can talk our introduction to Andrea.
Yeah, in a very short, he's an Italian artist. Andrea is, between other things, he's a very good keyboardist, guitarist, producer, and arranger of electronic, ambient, and space music. He also is a writer and director of an art group. I believe it's called, can you help me here, Adrian? I forgot.
Orpheus.
Orpheus.
Independent group of artists.
Okay, yeah. So he he composed and arranged soundtracks for film, for short films, and his music is extensively used by YouTubers from all over the world. He released his first album in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. No, in 2017, Luce. I believe that's the Italian pronunciation. And more recently, he released his album Golden Powder. I'm not sure if it's 2018 or 2017. This is it. Just a few.
We start to play 3 compositions, short compositions of this author.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Please accept my apologies. I have an emergency and I have to leave this meeting.
You are excused. You are
Thank you very
excused,
much
Alba.
for your invitation, and I hope I see you soon, all of you. See you. Sorry, I'm
Good
really
luck.
sorry.
Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for the music you presented.
Thank you.
Hopefully we can see you and hear you again.
Thank
soon.
you. Thank you very much. Okay. Have a great evening and a nice weekend, everybody.
Bye.
For you too. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
By the second music, second play.
Thank you, Adrian, for presentation of.
Yes, I choose the authors for our meeting because it's some similarities between their names. Alba Ecstasy is the name of artist, the stage name of the real name Mihail Adrian Simeon. Well, Andrea Michele is the same first name for this author. And we have another Adrian, who is Adrian Chifu, our president of the club Science Fiction Helion. He is composer, writer, and graphicians. In most time he work on other domain. This is only a hobby, his hobby, and he make some great realization in graphics. You can see their graphics in our magazine, Helion, and in other parts. And we present in this meeting their music in Berlin school style. Adrian, please introduce yourself.
Okay, hi everybody. Guten Abend. Und I make music for hobby. I make music that are about 20 years, or more 25 years. It's only for hobby. I make music every day. I don't spend any day without making music. I don't have hardware. I work only on software, and I like every kind of music, and I try to compose every kind of music. I used in 1995 and 1997, I released 2 albums, dance music, and since then I released non-album. I have only 2 albums released because I don't think that for me it's a thing to do. I compose not Berlin school music, but electronic music. I try to have my own personality in music, my own personal music, my touch, my personal touch in music. And for this meeting, I prepared a mix down of an earlier track. Some week ago, I composed it, and I mixed especially for this meeting. It has 10 minutes. It's composed in the Berlin school music style, but it has a lot of drums because I come from the dance hall, from dance music, and you will see. Thanks, and thanks everybody for coming here and to share with us your knowledge, your history, your music, and we hope that this is only the beginning. We will try to make things better because you know when you make the first move, the first step, there always can be some mishappenings, but thanks again. Adi, you can prepare the music and enjoy the music. 10 minutes.
Thank you, Adrian. Chifu was wonderful, and I liked your graphic. Saying this, we want to go to the next step of our meeting today, and free discussion, questions, and opinion of what we listened today and saw. So feel free to take the mic anytime you want. Just raise a hand or something.
I think it's interesting that some of the musicians here are in general are both musicians and are in graphical design. I think, Laurent, you're too in design, aren't you? And are also writing. So there are some fields of creativity that go well together, I think. Don't know why.
It's art.
Yes,
it's art, yes.
Let me introduce you Corina Chirilă, who is a graphician and artist in plastic art too. He helped us on the last year when we have an anniversary of the 50th anniversary of Apollo 11, the first step of the man on the moon. Corina helped us with exhibition with their artwork, and we thanks for that contribution to our event. It is an event with art, conferences, and music, electronic music, of course. It is first our event, but our projects are stopped by the pandemic, and after that we look forward to make a bigger event, a festival for electronic music and for arts, space arts, and the art things who make for the writers and artists a great start of their imagination, inspiration for their art.
Wonderful.
It's very beautiful.
Yes, this is the pyramid of the faces of the moon.
C'est très joli.
Ouais.
Bravo.
Mm.
I have many paintings here. This is a biological painting.
Wow.
Please
talk about this is with some genomes.
Yes, a chromosome and a cell and something. Galaxies.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
Très joli.
It's like a swan.
Ah.
Even better.
We have a lot for the next exhibition.
Yes, many paintings here.
Great. E.T., come home. Great, you have a great inspiration in universe.
Now you need some music.
Yes, the music is inspiring me.
That is for next time. Combining visual with auditive.
Well, thank you. We'll see you on the next event, sure. Okay, I like very much, and I look for inspiration, space inspiration on Michael Brückner. He composed a lot of albums with space subject, and I invite you to look into their collections of albums and buy, because it is intriguing music, and it is on diversity of style. He explored the music by voices in album names Poetry or Poetry. It is a joke of words.
Yes.
And maybe we in the second meeting we can make more films and more excerpts from the music, because it is a lot of expressions.
I see.
Yes, Costel?
I have a question for any of our guests today, the musicians. So we see the poster Berlin Music School. So what is Berlin Music School?
Okay.
Adrian, tu peux traduire si je parle? Alors, pour moi, la Berlin School, c'est une musique qui vient de l'intérieur. C'est un partage d'émotions. C'est quelque chose que... Alors, moi, personnellement, j'aime partager ma sensibilité, ma sincérité. Et puis, si je peux donner une part de rêve, je le fais volontiers. Et voilà, pour moi, la Berlin School, c'est simplement une musique qui vient du cœur.
For Laurent, music of Berlin School comes from interior universe, and express the feelings, the interior feelings of the humans. Yes, Berlin School came from 70 years in history, because their musicians explore a way unexplored before when the instruments came in music with electronic devices and electronic inventions. All kind of music created by new sounds or imitating nature, create a new way of expressivity in music. That is Berlin School.
Yes, maybe it's interesting to say why it is called Berlin School, because there was also electronic music in France or in America at the time. It's a particular style of electronic music, and the first 4 or 5 groups or artists who invented it happened to live in Berlin at the time, in the early mid-70s. I think the most famous Berlin School act is Tangerine Dream. Quite a lot of people know Tangerine Dream. They started originally as a rock band or psychedelic rock band, and in the late 60s, and then they got more and more experimental and added more and more synthesizers and keyboards and sequences to their way of expression. And one of the first albums that really had that sequencer kind of style was Phaedra from 1973. And that kicked off a whole movement. And another very important artist of that school was Klaus Schulze, who happens to be a favorite musician of mine. Maybe you saw that shirt. And he started out as a drummer, and he was a drummer in Tangerine Dream, but just for the first album, and then left and founded Ashra Temple with Manuel Götsching, who is another pioneer of Berlin School, originally a guitar player who shifted or who added electronic keyboards and sequencers and stuff to his instruments in the mid-70s. Well, yes. And another very important musician is Michael Hönig, also from that circle of artists. He also was in touch with, how are they called?
Peter Baumann.
Peter Baumann. Yes, he was in Tangerine Dream. Peter Baumann, of course. Yes. And Michael Hönig just recorded one album at the time and a few others later, and that is Departure from the Northern Wasteland. And it's also generally viewed as one of the pinnacles of Berlin School, actually. And typically the tracks, at least in the 70s, were very long. It wasn't unusual to have 15, 20, even 30-minute long compositions, often based on improvisation, actually, in the beginning. Yes, and it partly was in the nature of the sequencer equipment that they had at the time, that the music only evolved very slowly. You couldn't change chords and stuff as quickly as a usual band could do that had rehearsed regular songs. But it came with the equipment, I think, that the music was slowly evolving, and that made that huge feeling of space and otherworldliness and floating, and that's why the image of space or deep sea or anything that's huge and mysterious lends itself usually to that style of music naturally.
It is about dreams, about mythology.
Yeah, often, yes.
So.
I like the costume of Adrian Chifu. During his presentation, he had some kind of COVID protection mask.
Yes.
Very, very interesting.
Yes, I love this mask. I love that mask. I wish I had such mask too.
This is a
good show. Yeah.
Alba mentioned when he presents himself that there is no sound in space, but today we hear all kinds of sounds related to space. So where are they come from? It's just from inside of the composer, that imagination, and that's how.
Costel, may I add something to your question? Do composers start from music or from image?
Well, who wants to answer?
Because it's a question for me.
Yes.
I'm outside both fields, but at the same time, I'm interested to see or to understand whether you start from an image, from visual, or you start from the sound. You have the sound in your brain, you have the sound in your body, you feel a rhythm. or you feel the rhythm or of a visual image, as for instance, the sky and the stars moving.
Je dirais qu'il n'y a pas vraiment de règles pour moi personnellement. Adrian, si tu peux traduire, hein, je ne sais pas si tu m'entends. Je dirais qu'il n'y a pas vraiment de règles. Je ne sais pas pour Michele, pour moi personnellement, l'inspiration, c'est vraiment quelque chose qui se crée de manière spontanée. Alors oui, je réponds à Tudor en lui disant oui, des fois les images, l'espace, le cosmos m'inspirent. Et oui, des fois ça peut être une recherche sonore qui va faire que je vais en construire un titre. Voilà.
I'm a barbarian, I have to confess. I understand something, but not enough. I understand a little of German. I understand plenty of English. But with French, I'm exactly in the same situation. I couldn't follow the idea from the beginning to the end.
Translate. I can translate if you wait a second. Laurent say there is not a rule on creation. For him, imaginations came from images, but in time of work, the sounds became more more possessive,
predominant.
May I add something else? Laurent, listening and trying to understand things there, I had that feeling that somehow here we speak about harmony being contained and being at the same time the rhythm itself, just like life is. That is, you feel harmony trying to get into the music. That is why I asked that question. For me, it would have been music first and then visualization. Probably because visualization for me is easier than trying to put my feelings into music. But anyway, it's been wonderful listening to you, and I wish you all the best to you and the two sons of your life. That was a very nice formula to introduce your sons to us. I would also like to add something in general, or should I not? Should I wait for other people to speak? Organizers, Costel.
If you have something to ask, you should ask, right?
Okay, if you let me say something, I will add here. I have had, or I had better say, a lifetime of experience of scholarly sessions in which papers were presented, sometimes not 10, but 7 or 8, with the discussions suggested to come at the end. I had a feeling at that time that it was very convenient for the organizers of such a session, but not very convenient for the individual papers or the individual creators, simply because one is to say immediately what you feel after listening or after watching or after whatever you want to say to such a creation. And another thing is to speak about 5 or 10 presentations of this kind in the end. Usually there it is just the, let's call it the politically correct attitude. You say something about everybody, and if one does not feel that his or her creation suscited enough attention, okay, it gets under a sort of an umbrella. What I say here, or I also say here, in the end, the fact that here we had Adi Chifu's presentation, Adi Chifu's music and sound and image. Probably his presentation was the closest to science fiction, in my opinion, because Costel is laughing, or smiling, sorry. Closest because whatever he offered visually was closer to science and, let's say, not closer to the universe. Universe could be considered science, but universe is the eternal creation, in fact, and it's closer to music. Nevertheless, his music, for me, was very close to the image. And in all those visual creations of his for Helion, he also shows that, shall I call it, sensitivity to art, in the respect that he has a feeling for colors. And those colors combined with shape, which in this case was more, I do not have enough terms for the scientific angle. Costel, what do you call a cube instead of a cube?
I think there were fractal images, like forms which grow out of each other. They're called fractals. I think so.
Yeah, it's something like that. Well, I apologize.
Adrian Chifu can answer you that. He's a very scientific guy. Beside the art he's practicing, he's very, very knowledgeable quantum physics, mechanical or relativistic physics, and so you can ask him anything in that domain.
Anyway, I'm closer to fantasy. So from this point of view, I would be closer to the other visual and musical presentations. Anyway, I thank them all, and I thank the organizers for the good idea of introducing me, for example, to a field I had almost no experience of. That is, I have been listening to electronic music, let's say, but I never tried to combine it with visual. I never tried to see exactly what is behind that image. Thank you.
I want to say something to Laurent, because he mentioned that for him, the music comes from inside. And I always thought the music is not coming just from inside, but it's a lot coming from outside. And I want to bring into that the conservation of information. I would like to think that after I'm dying, I can relate and I can access every music ever composed, and that would be with me in my afterlife journey. And I believe that information is out there. Every composer ever imagined and composed some music. It's out there around us, and it's coming into us. And that inside that he's talking about, I imagine it's just a personal filter, that everyone has his own filter and is filtering the information and sounds that comes to him, and then he releases it outside through his own filter. What do you think, Laurent?
Je peux le faire en français, Adrian?
Oui.
Je suis tout à fait d'accord. Effectivement, l'influence de l'extérieur va bien évidemment faire que, voilà, si on est triste, si on est heureux, deux sentiments complètement différents vont faire que la résonance en moi va naturellement influencer le titre ou la composition en cours. C'est pour ça que vraiment je dis, lorsque je partage ma musique, c'est les émotions qui ressortent, parce que c'est ma sensibilité qui est là. Je ne sais pas, Adrian, si tu peux déjà...
I agree with you, Laurent. Merci beaucoup for your answer.
Yes,
In fact, Costel, I believe you introduced here something that Nikola Tesla mentioned somewhere in that interview of his in the 19th century. Something about memory and the fact that we do not have to start learning by heart a lot of things, trying to remember every poem, every word, every piece of music, because all of them exist. As soon as they are created, they exist around us somewhere.
Forever.
Forever. So we can hope that as future light particles, as probably we will be after we leave this universe, we will have time enough to go through music, through images, through poetry, through whatever is beautiful in this life.
So you mean, I'm very interested in more music to listen by Michele, Brückner, or by Laurent, and I have to buy it to listen. But if I'm not in a rush, I may hear it later.
Okay. Yeah.
Later on, but no, I like to do things as soon as possible. Yeah, I will. You want me, both of you, and Andrea is not here, and the other guy who just left, and I will buy some music. I think it's available online, and
it is.
It is.
Yes, it is.
There's
a place called Bandcamp. Do you know Bandcamp?
No, but I make a note here.
That's a great page for supporting artists. It's called Bandcamp, and there are thousands of artists there. And I think Laurent is on Bandcamp, and you can find myself and many great musicians. And the good thing on Bandcamp is that most of the money goes directly to the artists.
I put in the chat a link for Michele Brückner Bandcamp.
Okay.
Thank you.
You can copy from.
I will.
There.
I already did.
So,
but
Michele, not Michel, and not Michael.
Michel
Jackson, l'autre.
Anyway, it's been a very nice experience for me.
I'd like to refer to the thing that was said before with the ideas floating around. It reminds me of isn't that the Platonic philosophy of ideas pre-existing and then taking shape and manifest themselves. And the interesting thing it is that to me, making music has a lot to do with improvisation, and less I don't have, often I don't have an exact idea at the start, but I start at some point, and something grows from the starting point.
Mhm.
And that's quite often it happened that I ended up with some music of which I had rather the feeling in the end that it grew out of itself, and I was just like helping with it to take shape. And I thought, well, I didn't do that. I couldn't do that because I wouldn't know why until it was there. And this is a thing that doesn't only happen to me, because I talked about that with a lot of friends who are musicians, and a lot of them had similar feelings or experienced something similar at different points of their life.
But still,
Yes.
it's different. Every musician, every composer has his own touch, what he creates. So you can say, oh, this is Michael Brückner, or this is Laurent, or this is Vangelis, or whatever.
Yeah.
You recognize it because they have their own touch of their own creation. So it must be something different. It's not just the you said you just started, and then the song it start creating itself, evolves, right? By itself. But it's true, and it's something else. You have your own touch on that, what evolves.
I think it's the metaphor you used a few minutes ago was the filter.
A filter, yes.
And I think that is a very good metaphor, because as I experience that, there is a filter which is my education, which are my skills or my lack of skills. There are a lot of musical skills and a lot of things I'm not good at the same time, and my preferences, music that I've heard before and I love. So I do something, I don't have a plan, but at the moment when I have the feeling, oh, that's nice, then I like it because I liked similar music before. And that's also
that's what Laurent said before. It resonates with.
It resonates, yes.
Yeah.
And of course, that element that Laurent mentioned, that your emotions get into the play. I experience it that you make different choices. So when at a moment when you are sad, you don't make an upbeat, happy, fast, funny kind of thing, but you play something that is in line with what you're feeling, and the other way around. So if you're very happy, you're unlikely to invent something that is sad. Yes,
it's true. It's true. But the beauty always prevails. And when I'm talking about beauty, it's in music too. I can say it's a beautiful piece of music. If you think in Renaissance, like Michelangelo or other artists, you don't see the sadness there. You just see the beauty. And what I'm looking in the music is also, it could be happy song, upbeat, like you said, or sad, but it's the beauty that prevails to me.
I see.
Yeah. All of us are in search of beauty, correct? It reminded me in what you said about that mathematician, that Indian mathematician who came with a theorem which was out of this time, and when asked how he reached that theorem. He said it was Lakshmi or another goddess, Indian goddess, who came during the night and gave me the idea. So it is my experience, it is my feeling, it is my sensitivity that helps me in choosing the way in which I express myself, whether in words, whether in musical notes, whether in paintings or whatever.
Laurent, may I ask you a question?
You, me, for example.
So a question for Laurent. What do you think about Jean-Michel Jarre in your own view?
Très bonne question. Alors, Jean-Michel Jarre a été quelqu'un qui a apporté la musique électronique en France. Mais, je dis mais, il ne correspond pas à l'image que j'ai de la musique électronique comme moi je l'aperçois. Je rejoins Michele Brückner qui a dit avant, et on aime la même personne. Ma préférence à moi, c'est Klaus Schulze. Klaus Schulze a pour moi une très grande importance. C'est grâce à Mirage, à son album Mirage, que j'ai découvert l'univers cosmique, l'univers musical de Klaus Schulze, l'univers de la Berlin School. Voilà. Donc, je devais dire Jean-Michel Jarre, Klaus Schulze. Ma préférence irait naturellement à Klaus Schulze. Voilà.
Merci beaucoup.
Service.
I think we all understand. Jean-Michel Jarre have a own way near of commercial, near of dance or joining the rock rhythm. And Berlin School have introspection much deeper of the feelings, emotions, and sensitivity.
Si je peux juste, Adrian, ajouter quelque chose pour les gens qui veulent découvrir vraiment la Berlin School, et je crois que Michele sera d'accord, c'est vraiment de dire, enfin, moi je pense que l'album de référence pour la Berlin School, c'est Mirage. Parce que Mirage constitue en deux faces, la face A et la face B, représente vraiment globalement ce qu'on peut faire de mieux au niveau de la Berlin School.
Yes, it is different way in sense of music between Tangerine Dream, Klaus Schulze create their own way, and he is founder with Ashra Temple of this unique way, we can say. It is a school who are founded by exploring the sounds, exploring the sense of music by introspection, especially. Well, I think it's time to close our meeting. If we have some questions more.
Or close remarks?
Well, we close this first meeting with a thing to create a school of listeners of public in Romania for electronic music, and that is one of our brick in a wall.
Well, I'm very pleased what I heard today. I'm really, really pleased, and I'm sure that I will get more in contact with your music. And that was a very good opportunity to know you. And I never hear about you, but now I do.
Thank you very much.
We
It was
are
a
glad
pleasure.
to see
It was a
you.
pleasure to take part in this, and it was a very nice evening that way. And I hope it will happen again.
I'm glad
Thank
to
you.
feel good with us because I know it is a radio in France who, in the meantime of our meeting, take interview with you or a music for you, from you. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Merci à vous.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laurent. Have a nice evening, everybody.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao, merci.
Ciao,
Bonne
merci.
soirée.
My wolf doesn't move.